So this is the final topic of SQL, which is merge statement. It is a single statement rather to handle conditional update, conditional delete and conditional insert. You can use merge statement to implement something like if condition. If it matches, then do something. If it does not match, then do something else. So that's what merge condition does. We have a few terminologies here. The first one is source table. Source table is where the rows are read from. Typically, the source table would be a staging table where let's say the records from a particular file would be landed. Then we have target table, which is the table where we insert the rows or update or delete rows. And the target table is the final table. So source table would be the staging table or a table between the file and the final table. So that's what a staging table means. And target table is actually the final production table that you have. What merge statement does, it read rows from the source table and make conditional changes on the target table. Now the conditional change can be update, it can be delete, or it can be insert. So the statement is like this: merge into target table. Target table would be the final production table using source table. And as I said, source table would be the staging table. And then we mention the condition based on which we want to match. We mention a column name using the on condition. So on source table dot column equal to target table dot column. When matched, then we can do update, insert or delete. When not matched, then also we can do update, insert and delete. Now in the source table, we can mention a select statement also. Meaning instead of a staging table, we can use a select statement in place of the source table. So that is something that I have not done as much. Typically the source table is always a staging table, and from there we move it to target table. So let's do some hands-on. First I'll create a table called customers underscore staging like customers, and I'll implement the merge statement in the customers table. And before that, let me show you that I have deleted a lot of rows from the customers table so that we can look at the output of the merge statement. I have only 10 rows here, not more than that. So what will I do is I will insert a few rows in the customer staging table from the existing table, and then I will add a few rows on my own. So I will insert into the staging table. So I'm inserting 4 rows. Now customers underscore staging table has 4 rows from the source table. So these are the 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now apart from this, I will insert a few more rows. So what I have done is I have inserted 2 rows, one with customer ID 2208 and the other one with customer ID 2209. So what is the state now? The state is that customer underscore staging table has 6 rows. Out of these 6 rows, 4 rows are already there in the target table, which is customers table, and 2 rows are not there. So now what will I do? I'll run a merge statement which will read from customer staging table and make conditional update in the target table. So this is the merge statement: merge into customers using customers underscore staging, and the alias is C and C underscore S on this particular column. So we'll match the customer ID. When it matches, then I'm updating the country to India, just like that. And when it does not match, then I'll be inserting. So as you can see, it has been executed. And now if I look at the customers table, I should see that the country has changed to India for all the matching rows, which is 1, 2, 3 and 4. And these 2 new rows have been inserted. So this is how merge statement works. Now let's run one more merge statement, and what will it do is when it matches and if the country is something, then I'll delete the rows because you can mention multiple conditions also. And when it does not match, I'll insert. So this is the merge statement. I'm merging into customers table. So this is the final table using the staging table. And this is the condition, or this is the column based on which the matching would be done. When matched, and I have added one more condition, when matched and country equal to capital India, then delete. When not matched, then insert. We had already inserted earlier. So as you can see here, all these rows would match. So customer ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 2208 and 2209 would match. But there is one more condition where I have mentioned that when the country is in capital India, then delete. So these 4 rows should be deleted because seems like that it was a wrong update earlier. The city is New Mexico and country is India. City is Nebraska, country is India. It does not make sense. We did a wrong update. But the wrong update was, it was that the country was set as India, all capital. But these two are fine because the city is Bangalore and state is Karnataka, city is Mumbai, state is Maharashtra. So these two are fine. So that's why I do not want to delete these two, but I want to delete all these 4. So that's why I am doing a conditional delete and conditional insert. Now country should be c.country. So as you can see, we have country in customers underscore staging table also. So that's why it tells you that the column reference country is ambiguous because it cannot resolve the column country as it is there in customers underscore staging table and it is there in customers table also. So we'll have to mention which column or country column from which table we are referring here. So now it should work. So execution is done. And now if I do a select star, all those 4 rows with country capital India are gone, but these 2 are there. So this is another way of executing merge statement using multiple conditions, because here we matched or here we provided multiple conditions. One is the matching condition, and along with that I have also mentioned a condition where country equal to India on the target table. You can do the same in non-matched also. When non-matched and another condition, then do an insert only. So this is how merge statement works, and that concludes our SQL session. So let me summarize. In this particular section, we talked about having clause in complex SQL. What does having clause do? Having clause is used to do grouping after the result set is generated. Then we talked about multiple joins like inner, left, right, full, etc. We also talked about union, and there are few things in union that the column numbers and the data types have to be same. It's okay if the column names are different, but the number of columns and the data types of those columns should be same in both the queries or in all the queries that we mentioned using union. And union would also remove duplicates. If you do not want to remove duplicates, you can use union all. Intersect is basically, it will return the results which are common in all the result set. So let's say if you are running 2 queries, the rows of the first result set and the rows of the second result set would be compared, and only the common rows would be returned. Again, duplicate would be removed. If we do not want to remove duplicate, we can use intersect all. Then we have except, which is basically a minus. It will return the rows of the first result set which are not there in the second result set. Then we talked about views and materialized views. Both are almost similar except that in materialized view, the result is stored physically somewhere. In views, we store the definition of the SQL statement. So if we run a select star on a view, the underlying SQL statement would be executed. So if it's a complex SQL statement, it will execute every time if you do a select star from the view name. But in case of materialized view, we can store the result set physically somewhere, and then when we run select star on the materialized view, it would return the rows from the result set. Even though if you run the select statement, the database engine would see whether there's a materialized view for that particular select statement or not. Then it will go ahead and return the result set from the storage. And it is used to improve performance a lot. And there is another use case of view is to provide security. So let's say you want to give access only to a subset of rows to a certain users. You can create views and give access to those views to those users without providing any access to the underlying table. Then we talked about common table expression. So CT is basically a temporary table which stores the result set of a complex query, and then we can run select statement on the CT itself. And it is used when we run multiple business logics, multiple calculations, etc. Then we talked about window functions. Windows the result set or partitions the result set, and based on the partition we can apply multiple aggregate functions on those partitions like max, average, sum, count, rank, dense rank, etc. And then finally we talked about merge statement, which does conditional insert, update, delete based on the source table, and then the statements, the insert, update, deletes are applied on the target table. So that's all about SQL. Thanks a lot for tuning in.